From the show's snail speed of a timeline that has people snoozing, to Dr. Cameron Hayek's unrequited feelings for Mel, these are the real reasons fans think Season 5 of Virgin River will suck. Let's start off with the fact that the show's pacing is too slow. Now, Season 4 is probably the best example of this. It's just drawn out and melodramatic, and not in a good way. Rather, in more of a when will this end way. Oh, and guess what? The new season won't have the normal 10 episodes, but an additional 2 more episodes, which means we're gonna have to deal with the show's underbaked storylines for even longer this time. And that's a huge deal when you realize the series is already drawn out as it is. Honestly, some shows should return to the habit of creating seasons that have an average of 22 and 24 episodes. But Virgin River is here to show you why that may not be the best idea. And wow, I've got to give the show some credit, because if there's one thing it was successful in, it's teaching its viewers patience. One Redditor shared an interesting theory, that each season represents just 1 month in the show's universe. Is it a cool theory? Sure, but the math doesn't quite add up. And here's why. When Mel returns to Virgin River in Season 2, she explained that she'd been in LA for a couple of weeks to process all the events of the previous season. Also, I can't forget the very obvious 3-week time jump between Season 2 and 3. No one needs to be a detective to figure out that the Virgin River timeline doesn't match the real world, or even other shows for that matter. But guess who doesn't hate the wacky timeline that the show follows? Alexandra Breckenridge. She thinks the confusing storyline is a plus point of the series. The 41-year-old actress said that the show's timeline does a wonderful job of helping the viewers settle in with the characters and world, and that too at your own pace. Alexandra told Glamour that things move slowly, and guessed that her character's probably only been in Virgin River for like 4 months. She explained that it's 100 and some odd days. Plus, the team even has a chart for it. But the issues with Virgin River is that it focuses on a bunch of characters that have zero growth. Seriously, none of the characters learn from any of the countless mistakes they've made in the last 4 seasons. Which is why fans find it exhausting and a real buzzkill that the show's still dragging on. Since, nothing memorable happened. Sure, some storylines are interesting, like Preacher's relationship with Christopher, but for the most part, they're underwhelming and stretched out to use as bait for Season 5. And I doubt the new season will be any different. I guess you gotta do whatever you can to rake in the dollar bills, right? Anyway, let's talk about what the fans have thought of the show so far. And well, unsurprisingly, they're all tired of the drawn-out timeline, because it's making them lose interest in the show. Plus, another thing that everyone agrees has been dragged on for too long is Charmaine's pregnancy. How long has she been pregnant for? Give the character a break, please. While most fans would like to see Season 5 focus on Mel and Jack and the potential birth of their child, there are some who feel that there's no real chemistry between the pair. Also, can we talk about how certain minor characters get too much screen time? Fans threw a lot of shade at Cameron. They'd be happier if he was written off completely. Yikes, sounds like a tough crowd to me. But wait, fans have got one suggestion they'd like to make clear. Virgin River should be renamed to Plot Hole Central instead. Because damn, it's got more plot holes than a storyline. And fans are scared Season 5 won't be any different. Look, in the past, Virgin River has had its fair share of plot hole moments. Just look at Season 3, for example. Hope's absence from the town is the biggest plot hole. And no, before you come at me, a few FaceTime calls doesn't do the character justice. You know the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder? Well, it applies to Hope McCrae pretty well. At least in terms of Season 3, that is. Fans felt that when she was present, her constant meddling in Jack's life was annoying. But once the show took her out of the picture in Season 3, they came to realize that her nonstop gossip was actually pretty valuable, both for the show's plot and flow, and to give depth to the character. Because, let's face the facts, without Hope, the show gets boring. Who's gonna butt into people's business, meddle in Jack and Mel's relationship, or diss Charmaine, and by extension, her mom? She even talked some sense into the woman about how she might be in a toxic relationship. Fans feel that if Hope is not in Season 5, or is given less screen time, then they're gonna riot. Sort of like what they did after they watched the disappointing third season. But that's not all. There are a lot more plot holes in the show that fans don't want a repeat of. Like how the show tackles injuries. I mean, remember when Jack got shot in the Season 2 finale? Someone please explain to me how he's magically fine after 1 minute of screen time, where he's shown unconscious on the ground. Where's the blood? The post-stitches scene. Plus, it's absolutely ridiculous that Mike didn't immediately identify the shooter. Because last I checked, Virgin River wasn't a crime drama, so just tell us who it is and move on. And fans have a bone to pick with Paige's character too, who's extremely bland and forgettable. The last fans saw of her, her ex-husband's evil twin was carrying out an elaborate revenge plan. He even kidnapped her son Christopher. It's giving me strong soap opera vibes, and I don't like it. Virgin River seriously needs to wrap up this story, because, like I mentioned before, it's been dragged on for so long, and it'll be boring if it's part of Season 5. One question that's on everyone's minds, though, is that will we ever see Charmaine give birth? All of you remember how the 4th season of Virgin River ended, right? The cliffhanger about Charmaine's pregnancy was one plot twist I did not see coming. But I do feel bad for her because she's been pregnant for so long. Plus, if you thought you were going to see the twins in Season 5, well, think again. In a series of wrap-up photos from the show's shoot, the actress posted a picture with a caption that read, "It's my 5th year of pregnancy, and I don't know what everyone is complaining about." And yeah, she was still rocking that fake baby bump. I mean, Lauren Hammersley has insane willpower to wear the fake baby bump for 5 whole seasons. I hope for Charmaine's sake that she delivers the twins by the end of Season 5. Because if I was her, I'd have gone insane, carrying twins that refuse to pop out into the real world. Knowing the Virgin River writers, though, I doubt that'll happen, which is even more reason to hate Season 5. But that's not the only pet peeve that fans have with the show. Other than Charmaine's never-ending pregnancy, we've also got Pick-Me Doctor of the Century, aka Cameron Hayek. Fans did not like him in Season 4, and I highly doubt their feelings towards him will change anytime soon. He's a great example of a character who ruined the show's chill vibe. So, what's the deal with Cameron? Well, the character was a new arrival in Season 4, where he became work buddies with Mel at the hospital. I'm gonna be honest, at the start, I had high hopes for Hayek. He made a decent new love interest for Mel because he's good-looking and has the same career. He checked most of the boxes, you know? But it didn't take too long for fans to realize Cameron's a highly unpleasant character. Why is that? Probably because Doc thinks he's the smartest person in the room, has an annoying habit of asserting his dominance over others, and worst of all, claims that he does not belong in Virgin River because his talents deserve more recognition. Now, here's the main issue with Cameron. He thinks he's Prince Charming, but in reality, he's far from it. In fact, fans consider him irritating and a superficial jerk. At the start of Season 4, fans thought the show might introduce a love triangle through Cameron and the main lovebirds, Jack and Mel. But you need charisma to even make yourself a candidate for a love triangle. Which is why any scenes from the show where he tried to flirt with Mel were poorly received by fans. I'm just gonna say what everyone's thinking. Cameron, just move out of Virgin River, because we don't want you to stay either. And that's all. So, from Dr. Cameron Hayek's unrequited feelings for Mel to the show's snail speed of a timeline, these were the real reasons fans think Season 5 of Virgin River will suck.